What's up, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of the Bronx Muchachos podcast, brought to you by the 5 Reasons Sports Network. I'm your host, Mark, and tonight we got Dave.
Welcome back, everybody.
We got Alex.
Can't keep me locked up forever, everybody.
And, of course, we got our friend, good old friend, brother from another mother, Paul from Prospects 1500.
Hey, good evening, guys.
All right, guys, everyone, you still know the drill. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, like, review, all that good stuff on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, any place you get your podcast servers. Don't forget over here on YouTube to hit the like button on the bottom and to subscribe to the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Also, check out our link tree, which is link.tree/Real Bronx Muchachos for all our offers, including our newest one from Dave.
We got our own online store, and we got SeatGeek. So go buy some merch, go buy some game tickets, concert tickets, whatever, and use promo code BM20 on our online store. Get 20% off site-wide, and use promo code Bronx Muchachos, all capital, for $20 off your ticket purchase.
Which will be good because we have beer mugs there, so you can pour yourself nice big pint glasses.
Pint glasses. Yep.
Pint glasses for especially after this loss.
And tumblers.
All the booze. And tumblers too. Keep everything nice and cold, especially after this loss today. So I think after this, I'm going to have a nice big tumbler myself. But this was, I don't want to say, it's not an abomination because a lot of us talked about this before. That we figured that bats were going to go cold. We're going to go cold with the layoff. It just, man, I keep running back to the same thing that in big moments against against well-established managers, Boone just keeps coming up short. And it's not the fact that the guys can't hit because that's not his fault. But man, did he made these moves that just didn't make sense. Bringing in Carpenter for Trevino, and you could have used Trevino. You could have kept Trevino in there. Used Carpenter at another point when Cabrera's not hitting. When somebody else for anybody else, you got Castro. That he said was a wash to bring him in there. Like he was expecting an out. You bring in Jameson Tyone, who's never done a relief pitching role in his life, let alone in postseason, and you have Clark Schmidt, who has been pretty much out of the pen this entire season with a couple of spot starts. So I just don't understand the moves that he made. It seemed like he wasn't playing for the win. He was just kind of playing to get to the next day. So, Alex, we haven't heard from you a bit. What are your thoughts today?
Well, I liked how everything was going at first. Like, let's be real. Like, okay, John Carlos did what he did because he does what he does in postseason. He puts numbers up there, okay? And like that's what he was doing. It upset me. And then when we had the top of the fourth, when Nestor got himself out of that jam, that was nice. Okay, but then like when John Carlos got himself back on base and they took him out for a relief runner, for a pinch runner, it's like, yeah, that's going to be nice, but it's going to probably bite us in the keister if we need him later on. And lo and behold, we needed him later on because it's the 9th inning or 10th inning, and we could have used him in the 10th inning, that bat to be that one hit to bring us to at least tying the game, and it didn't happen. So it's like, yeah, it's a little sad, but I guess better luck next time, even though the rest of our batting order is running cold, especially our MVP, who is 0 for 5 right now. He was 0 for 5 today, at least. Like he's been all playoffs. So it's like I don't know what to do right now. Like this is a little upsetting, but I guess better luck next time. Yay.
Yeah, well, so next time is tomorrow because we got 4. There's a possibility that if it goes all 5, it's 4 games in a row. So, Paul, you and I we're talking a bunch today. Why don't you give me your thoughts about this? Because this is I'm not talking a lot about it because it just doesn't. Because what happened today just didn't sit well at all for me. So
No, I mean I agree with Alex. I mean you got LeCastro there, but why do we have Marwin Gonzalez and Aaron Hicks even on the roster at this point if you're not going to use them? I understand neither one of them are hitting very well, but both of them are better options than Tim LeCastro, and both of them were better options than Cabrera as well. I feel like Cabrera is kind of stuck in the lights a little bit. So like, why not use, your $10 million Aaron Hicks, your Marwin Gonzalez at that point? I just a thought on that one.
So it wouldn't have been a bad move to make that change. I mean, I get why Cabrera's in there. I mean, he's that little spark plug that's kind of that motor that keeps everyone going. But if he's not doing anything, then and it's getting to that point where you need something to happen. Then if he needs to move off.
Look at he's 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts.
Mhm.
You've hit him in the 5th hole and in the 6th hole.
Mhm.
0 for 8 with 5 Ks. That's not good. Like, yeah, Marwin Gonzalez and Aaron Hicks probably going to give you the same thing, more than likely. But I feel like I have a better chance than a guy that's a rookie in a pressure spot in the playoffs. That was my initial thought on that. Like Aaron Hicks, he's okay. He can get me a base hit. Same with Marwin. Get me a base hit. Just turn it over.
That's all we cared about. That's all we cared about at that point.
A guy that's chasing high strike the whole time he was chasing high strikes. They knew exactly what to do every at bat. If you look at that, he had 2 balls out of the strike zone high that he swung at. Every single you knew exactly what to do. You knew exactly what was coming, and sure enough, it was high. He swung, strikeout.
I don't know. Someone might want to check that Yankee bullpen or dugout. I mean, because I think that bottle of whiskey that they had, and when they were chasing for 62, it's still there somewhere, and they're just drinking the sauce because that was like horrible.
And then, like, again, the LeCastro for Stanton thing. I guess this goes back to what I've talked to you guys about before. Stanton can't run. I understand he's not going to steal a base. That's why you had LeCastro in there at that point. But at that point, you're tied at 2. Like, I'm going to if I need Stanton again, which we did, he can't run. Why are we paying him all this money if he can't run?
No. He can run. It's just the fact that they're scared that he's going to get injured because they don't want to put him out there in the outfield, which is the dumbest thing that they got going on for the guy. Like
nonsense.
Okay, like is he the best outfielder out there? I'm not going to say he is. Okay,
no.
Like because like that's just fooling ourselves. But we'll put him out there into the outfield, giving him the opportunity to run, stretch those legs a little bit, so that way he could do some sort of base running. Yes, the man can run like a gazelle. We know this. Okay, he has those long strides for being 6'10", basically. Like, let him do his job. Okay, let him do what he got to do and move the bases. Get going. Like, he might not steal the base. Let's be real. But the minute the hit happened, it was a walk. He would have been at second base no matter what anyway. Like, he could do it. He could do his job. He could play the game. And they're treating him like a kid. Like, the man is the guy who is your only bat for the past 3-4 seasons that actually does anything in the postseason. I'm not going to get away with my only hot bat for postseason play.
Right. Exactly. I agree. I mean, you're looking at a total of 11 hits over 2 games, total of 6 runs over 2 games. That's not winning. That's not a winning formula. Just not. You need more hits. We need more guys on base and not left on base.
And we have legitimately just turned this series from being like, okay, if we just had to win 2 games at home, then now it's a best out of 3 series, and we got to win 2 of the games basically in Cleveland.
15 Ks. Think about that, guy, fellas. 15 Ks and 7 walks. I understand 7 walks is great. 15 Ks isn't a winning formula. Striking out on 3-2 pitches on a continuous basis is not a winning formula.
That goes back to roster construction at that point. I mean,
exactly.
And not for nothing, it goes back to how this lineup is constructed. But now how this lineup is, having Aaron Judge number 1, having Rizzo 2, then Torres. Put Judge back to the 2 hole at least, or move him somewhere down the lineup because He's not the guy who we just had in the regular season right now.
I actually tweeted something about that earlier. Imagine having a Stephen Kwan lead off for us. As I'm watching him, he's just a guy that just puts the bat on the ball. It might not go out of the infield, but he's fast enough to get the infield hit, which he showed today. He's fast enough to cause some issues on the thing. And I think in the long run, Cabrera is that guy because he's got the same skill set, but he's not right now.
Then why not?
Even
Then why not?
Kwan,
Yeah,
you know,
but
took
why
a
not
few
put an
games.
IKF there then instead? I mean, he's your slap hitting guy.
Hey, anything. Just get on base. Just get on base. Getting on a base. Even if Judge strikes out, at least I have someone on base for the next guy.
I don't understand. I'm really worried what Dave has to say because he's been pretty quiet. So I want to hear what Brother Dave has to say about this one.
Well, the whole game, I was pretty much chasing my son around the house and trying to watch the game at the same time. But started off great. I thought, that strike call on Giancarlo before he hit the home run was complete nonsense. That ball was 3 inches below the zone, and they called it a strike. And what is up with MLB putting first-time umpires in a postseason series behind the damn plate? Like, can we stop, please? Can we stop putting rookie umpires behind the plate, calling the most important games of the year? As far as the lineup goes, it needs to get shaken up. I'd rather see either Waldo, Glaber, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, or IKF, Glaber, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton. That's how I would do it. Put the contact hitters in the 1 and 2 hole, get them on base, and let the big bats come. Because if you get those 2 guys on base, you have to pitch to Judge, you have to pitch to Rizzo, and then you got to pitch to Stanton. You can't make a mistake. It just forces the other side not to make a mistake. And Nestor was on point today until the 4th or 5th inning when things started to come undone for him. And then, pinch hitting Carpenter in the 6th inning, don't agree with that. Running for Giancarlo in the bottom of the 8th, Boone's thinking there that, we're just going to score this run and we're going to go ahead and win this game. Wrong. And then you got Jameson Taillon coming in the game who hasn't appeared in a relief appearance in 143 career games. It's been 143 career games since this man has been in a relief role. And then you bring in Clark Schmidt after he coughs up the game. Like, what are you doing, guy? What are you doing? Why didn't you just end the game with Schmidt and Herman? Because now you just wasted your game 4 starter in a relief appearance in extra innings. This team needs to get its head out of its ass. Because you're not, even if they get past the Guardians, they are not going to get past the Houston Astros playing like this. It's just not going to happen.
Hey, don't count Seattle out yet.
Cole's going to start game 4. Boone did say that today. Yeah. So at that point, I'm wondering if Herman comes behind Sevy tomorrow. Because, that's the only reason you'd leave Herman there. If you don't have, I feel like, does he have trust for Sevy to go more than 4 or 5? If not,
I hope he does go more than 4 or 5 because it's going to get real interesting if you go past 4 or 5. If he doesn't,
yeah, but you basically
got Herman that could go.
It's going to be 7 Herman tomorrow because you've used most everything else.
And why he pulled Wandy out of that game, man?
What's coming?
And why he pulled Wandy out of the game and Wandy was dealing.
It goes back. Well, I think because in case he needs to use Wandy tomorrow, excuse me. But it goes back to the fact that when it comes to the really big moments, and I wish Danny was on tonight with us because he is our resident Boone apologist. But
Boone lover.
Exactly. But when it comes down to
a member of the Aaron Boone fan club.
but when it comes down to a lot of the moves that Boone does, and especially comes down to in the playoffs, he does not push the right buttons. He does not. He gets the moment, like Paul was saying, the lights are too bright for Cabrera now. The lights have always been too bright for Boone in the manager's seat. He hasn't performed well as a playoff manager, and one would think by season 5, year 5 now being in the playoffs, that would have changed. That he would make these adjustments, and it seems like the moment gets too big for him, and he just pushes and he just does things wrong every single time. And this is not saying that this is not an excuse why the team wasn't hitting, because that was just a crazy thing that they can't hit the ball anymore. But making those substitutions, I think, did a detriment instead of a positive, with the exception of bringing in, like you said, Wandy and Loizaga. Loizaga came in there and shut them down too. It's in a big moment. So, I mean, let's give some praise. Let's give some praise where praise is due as well. I mean, Clay Holmes came in there. Clay Holmes did his job. So, you got three stellar guys in the bullpen right there that can go, but at some point they can't go 4 days in a row, especially go 4 days and then a day off before if it goes 5 games, 4 days day off, then start in against Houston or Seattle, or go against Houston or Seattle. It's not going to happen. That's going to go back to all the same things that I've always said, that Boone will burn out this bullpen for the ALCS, and then that's where the team stops.
Yep. And you're 100% right. And it's been kind of sad. Like, what? Yeah, August, we were harboring the horrible slump. September, the bats were still not waking up realistically in September. Like, we all know it. They weren't like, oh my gosh, like the beginning of the season of that what we saw. So it's like we're dealing with that. And then it's like you have the announcers, Bob, saying, oh, well, here we go. We have Higgy up on bat, and he was doing really good late in the season. In my head, I'm like, no, he hasn't. He's been trash. He's the trash man that does great when we don't need him to do great. Like, I don't care if we need a run or a base, someone up on bat to be on the base. I don't want it to be Higgy. Like, that's not who I want. I don't want Kyle Higashioka to be our man at bat to bring in the winning run. No, I don't want that guy up there. He's trash. He's always been trash. He's only good when we don't need him to do good anymore. Okay. And Dave, back to your comment about the umpires. At least it's not Angel Hernandez.
Oh, be careful there. He might sue you for that one.
Sue me. I ain't got nothing to give him anyway. What? I'm racist to my own race? Nah, that's not what it is. I know trash when I see it.
Might as well be Angel Hernandez with the way they're calling the balls. He must have gone to the Angel Hernandez umpiring school. And just a follow up to what I was getting at too, like it's just aggravating, and the sloppy defense on top of it. Like, Cabrera should have just let that ball fall in front of him and then toss it in. Instead, he tries to dive for the ball. Donaldson comes over, and Josh, being Josh, just whips the ball away and throw. And then Rizzo almost airmails it, throwing it to third base, and then allowing J-Ram to go from first to third on an error. Well, 2 errors, really.
And how about that Glaber throwing the ball like a fastball at Rizzo for no reason at a play that we knew that the man was going to be safe. Like, why even bother? Why bother on that one?
Just eat it. Just eat the ball. And, not having DJ on this roster is really starting to show how much that hurts. Not having LeMahieu. Like, that's starting to really hurt.
Well, he did hit in front of Judge more than likely, so that would be a good start.
Yeah. So,
him, if Andrew Benintendi was good, we could have him batting in front of Judge. Right now, I would rather have Andrew. I would rather have DJ. I would rather have IKF batting in front of Judge right now.
And I think what Judge's problem is too is that 55 games in a row he started going down the stretch chasing down Roger Maris's home run record. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's not. It can't be. It can't." Yep, it is. Like, let's be honest. That he played 55 games in a row.
Especially for a guy who's not used to playing that many games in a row.
Exactly.
And let's be real. Also, they even said it on the telecast itself. They legitimately said, like, well, we have Aaron Judge swinging at balls that he would usually hit in the beginning of the season, but now it's basically, now that he's been going at it for this home run race for so long, he's swinging at stuff that he should be homering out and letting things become strikes that he would usually just clobber out and be out of the stadium for no reason. Like, I don't know who this Aaron Judge is, but he better not realize, he better realize, like, this is part of negotiation talks. It's Jeter said it. The regular season, we don't care as Yankee fans. We care about postseason play. Okay, because regular season, we don't care what's going to happen because we know for a fact we're going to make it into postseason. Every year, Doesn't matter how old you've been, you know it's going to be Yankees in the postseason. When it's not Yankees in the postseason, that's when it's like, oh my gosh, wait, what happened this season? I don't know. I just don't get it. How about you, Mark? You got anything?
Like I said, this whole thing, everything that's going on right now is coming from the top down, and I don't know. I think tomorrow you're going to see. I think tomorrow you're going to see a couple changes. I think you're going to see a little bit of change in the lineup, and I think you're going to see a couple guys sitting down tomorrow. I think Cabrera's going to sit tomorrow. I think that unfortunately Higgy's going to play tomorrow at catcher.
And I think you might see Carpenter at right field and Judge as the DH.
Judge DH and Stanton taking a breather.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, if they put Carpenter in right field, if they put Carpenter in right field over Judge, that is a travesty. Because guess what? Carpenter can't even throw the ball from right field. Okay, I remember seeing him in the regular season when he put there in right field, and they would throw hit balls out there, and because they know for a fact he doesn't have the arm to make it a second base from outfield without a relay man.
Or you can sit Cabrera and put him in left. He's played left field this season too.
I think Hicks is going to go to left field. I think Hicks is going to go to left field tomorrow. I think they're going to sit.
I'd rather have Hicks in left field than Carpenter. Yeah. I don't want Carpenter.
I think Donaldson's going to sit tomorrow too. I think even with $25 million that he's producing what he's producing right now. I think Donaldson takes the pine and they put Gonzalez over there, or they put Gonzalez at shortstop, get a real shortstop there, and move IKF over to third.
Or they put Cabrera at short, put IKF at third. Yeah, they could do that too.
I think right now they're going to give Cabrera a breather. I don't think that they're going. I don't think he's going to play tomorrow.
No, I don't think so.
And it's nothing against him. I got nothing bad to say about the kid. It's just that I don't think that the way he's going right now, like Paul said, 0 for 8 with 5 Ks. That's not getting the job done. So why not?
Judge 0 for 9.
He's got 5 Ks at least or something like that.
Yeah.
If our outfield tomorrow isn't Hicks, Judge, Stanton, I'm gonna be upset.
I don't think it's gonna be that. I think they're gonna still put Bader out there.
Bader.
It's defense. They're gonna go defensively. They're gonna keep Bader out there because it keeps Judge out of center field. And Stanton's never seen the light of the outfield again this season.
Yeah, that's not this season.
That's such a cop out right there, because I'm sorry, I don't mind Stanton's defense out there in the outfield. Like, he knows how to play the position. It's not like it's a position he never played in his life. So it's like it's.
Well, the question is how bad of a shape his Achilles is in. Because remember, he had Achilles tendonitis when he went on the IL. So the Achilles is something you definitely don't want to mess with. And this is why I'm upset that Peraza's not on the roster. I really am.
I agree. I think he adds that piece of versatility in the infield, and same with DJ.
And the bat.
DJ makes a big difference too. I mean, I think what you're missing is really hurting here. You don't have a guy with the versatility of Peraza. You don't have DJ. It's killing him.
Oh, no, absolutely. But unfortunately, the way that they put this team, the way they played Peraza, I still, as much as Boone wants to say, "Oh, I was up all night thinking about Peraza versus Gonzalez." The way
because
it makes no sense.
You have Cabrera to do exactly what Marwin Gonzalez does.
Exactly.
Cabrera can play first, can play second, play short, play third, can play both corners. Exactly what Marlon does. Cabrera can do the same thing, and he's been hitting.
And
it makes no sense.
And there's no way Boone was losing sleep over this. If you're losing sleep over whether or not Marwin Gonzalez or Oswald Peraza should be on this roster, like, you need your head examined.
I don't even understand how Marwin Gonzalez made the whole season on this roster.
Well, guys kept getting injured.
Injuries, he doesn't.
Well, guys kept getting injured and having kids and
exactly. If it wasn't for injuries, he's not on this roster anymore. He bounced a couple more teams.
Peraza has proven he can play at the major league level. Granted, his offensive numbers were only a small sample size, but he still batted over 300.
Well, that's
Still
because it's
batted
small
over
sample
300.
size because they didn't play him. That was the problem. Is that they kept putting IKF back in out of position at shortstop. Peraza was IKF. I say this all the time. They said earlier in the year IKF is the stopgap for one of the youngsters. They brought a youngster up and they kept playing IKF. Yep. That makes zero sense when you're going forward. It makes zero sense to put a non-shortstop at the shortstop position because guess what? We tried this last year, tried this in 2020, didn't work at all. So why is this team still continuing to do this?
Because Aaron Boone's not a real manager, and Terry Francona is.
Really, Dusty Baker is. Dusty Baker's been amazing in game 1 and 2.
He doesn't really have to manage.
I mean, he doesn't have to worry. He has trash cans. That's all.
I mean,
as long as you have trash cans, that you're good to go.
A couple of moves that he made though were crazy. He had like the guts to do some big moves at certain points.
That's something that comes with experience, though. That's for sure. That he has. That man has.
How long is experience going to be Aaron Boone's excuse at that point?
I'm good.
He's been here for 6 years. That excuse is running thin.
Donnie Baseball's on the
in this roster.
Paul, Donnie Baseball's on the market. I don't care. Boone's done. I'll take Donnie.
Unfortunately, I'm with you. I said that I'm with you with Alex. I'd rather have Donnie Baseball, but it's not.
He's not going to manage again.
I don't know about that. I think he might. I think he needs. I think Donnie Baseball needs that year away, like Girardi would do. Take the year off, get himself right, get his head on straight. Get away from managing just so he can watch the game from outside. Buck Showalter
the White Sox might be looking for a manager, so I can definitely see Girardi going back to Chicago.
I'm gonna say this then. If that's the case, if it's gonna be a year, then if Aaron Boone keeps his job for another year, then you know who I'm gonna be banging the drum for the whole year. The whole year next year, I'm gonna be banging the drum.
Aaron Boone's having the job.
It's gonna be the Donnie Baseball drum that I'm gonna make a drum with Donnie's face on it, and every time you guys talk, I'll just bring that drum out and just start beating it right here.
Dude, the guy that's getting a lot of interviews is the one probably that we should have hired as the manager, which is Joe Espada. He's probably the guy that we should have had over Boone, and he's getting a lot of looks. He's being looked at for the Marlins job.
Still got a shot to bring him home.
Yeah,
still got a shot.
He'd be great with Miami.
Well, only thing I know we got to look forward to, at least we got Louis on the mound tomorrow. So
good old Sevy.
It's like we got Louis, Vuri, McKenzie. So let's see, someone with a 318 versus someone with a 296. It'll be a interesting game tomorrow. And if we get Louis that we got in the last end of the season, I'll be happy with a no-hitter to the 8th inning.
I just want the bats to. I want Louis. I want Sevy to be Sevy. I want that dog to come back out again. Throwing
we might get a no hitter to the 8th inning, but we actually going to put up a run or two.
That was going to be the kicker. That was going to be the kicker to it all. Sevy could be Sevy, and then boom,
we give him 0 runs, and it don't matter.
Exactly, we've done that before.
Exactly.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for everybody that came and hung out with us on YouTube, and whoever's going to listen to us talk about this tomorrow when the episode drops on all the podcast platforms. Check out our link tree. Got our online store there and multiple offers from our sponsors, Lids, SeatGeek, all the good stuff. Check it out. Everybody listening internationally, thank you. The Netherlands just joined the coalition of global listeners, so thank you. And for Danny, Mark, Alex, and Paul, David, Bronx Muchachos, have a good night.
Hey, and darn it. Hey, for everyone over at Nicholas Cloud Children's Hospital, thank you so much for everything you did for my daughter. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed.